it will be stored in your buffer memory. Okay. Yeah, after once you done the commit, after that what will happen? So what row id will have the contents? Yes, what are all the contents we are having in the address? We are having the first three letters would be block number, next will be file number, next will be your particular row address. Correct, right? Is my screen is visible? Yeah, even for me also it's showing like that only. Okay. Okay, let me open one diagram how data will be stored in your database. Okay, let me write that one. So, if you are considering this is the your storage, okay, cluster storage. Inside this one, you will be having the data blocks. Okay, sir, no. So, like this data will be saved in your database. One second, let me add few data blocks here. Okay, so let's assume you are having some thousands of data blocks. We are having. Okay, and inside the data block, what will be having? You will be having that files. Okay, so inside that one you will be having number of files. Let's assume this we can consider this is one of the file. Okay, so like this your data will be stored. Is there any control my data should be there in this file or the in this block? Is there any control? Hmm? Are you able to say my data is there in this block, in this block, in this block? Is it? Uh, do you have any control to store data at one particular place? There is no control, right? It's Oracle will take care of all the things. Okay. If you are storing the data, wherever system is finding the space, okay, in which block, in which file we are having the space, it will occupy that specific memory. Sir, no. So if you are storing data like that means, okay, let's assume your table data is distributed more than one block. Okay, let's assume it's distributed in 10 different blocks. Inside that 10 different blocks, it's your data is distributed among 100 data files. Okay, 100 data files, data is saved. So what will happen while querying the data? Definitely, all the times it go and search and where that particular row ID is there and where that particular block and where that particular file and what is the row. Okay, so all the time system needs to search and it will capture that one, right? It needs to retrieve. Yes or no? Okay. Normally in real time we will be having the very bigger tables. Let's take some UID. Okay, that other website data. Okay, you are having some all 28 states data in one place means it will be distributed among 140 crore records and definitely it will be distributed in n number of files. Yes or no? So whenever you are querying the data for particular Aadhaar ID, what will happen? Yes, so it will take lot. It will be scanning lot of files and lot of lot of blocks. and files. Yes or no? So instead of that, if that particular, okay, let's assume if I am retrieving AP data or if I am retrieving Telangana data, okay, simply I kept in one block, okay, in one place. So no need to search all the data, all the blocks and all the files. Okay, if you are searching in the particular blocks, then it is very easy to retrieve the data. Yes or no? Okay, so like that we can create the partition. Okay, this we can say this entire whatever we are having, right? So this entire thing we can say partition. We can create the our table data as a partition. So our system should not beyond it won't store beyond this block. Okay, these two blocks, in these two blocks only specific to our AP data. Okay. So Telangana data, these two blocks is specific to Telangana storage. Okay, this block belongs to some Maharashtra. Okay, like that if you are storing, okay, instead of scanning all the data blocks, instead of scanning all the data files, okay, if you are kept your data blocks at one place, then you can say that is a partition, so that your performance will be more better. Okay. So definitely your number of blocks scanning is less means definitely your performance will be more. Okay, if you are retrieving only this block data, okay, you will be retrieving almost required file, right? One file enough to retrieve the things instead of scanning this many number of blocks and rows. Okay, so very bigger tables and all, if you want to go improve the performance things and all, what DBA will do now, they will create the partitions. Okay, they will keep their entire specific partitions. Okay, that on what column basis they will store their data and all, that is developer choice. Okay, so Oracle provides that such type of options which is called partition. It will be partitions will be there in all the databases. Okay, that will be additional cost for us. Okay, that's why even we cannot create the your partitions and all in the trial versions and all. For that separate license will be required. Okay, clear? Okay, let's go to partition. We are having different types of partitions, that is range partition, list partition, hash partition. Okay, see here your whatever you are storing in their data, this is physically existed, your partition. Okay, originally in memory physically we are storing that one. We are separating the our table internal. Earlier it will be everything it will be in the same, maybe it will be in the different files, different blocks, different data rows, but physically we are separating the our table data. Okay, so that word don't forget, physically it will be stored separately. Okay, what index table will do? Index, if you are creating the index back end, one more table will be created. Yes or no? So what does mean? It's logically it will be created, but we cannot able to see the data and all, right? So somewhere some data files will be utilized for that. That data file only will use for the data retrieval things and all. But in case of this one, don't compare indexes and all. But it's physically you can remember that word, that physically it will be stored separately. Okay, like kind of one folder we can say. Okay. Next, yeah, we are having three types of partitions: range partition, list partition, hash partition. Range partition means normally if you want to store your 1 month data or 1 day data, 2 days data, okay, like that if you want to go, if you want to define specific range, okay, then you can create the range partition. Okay, list partitions means if you want to specify particular states or particular countries or particular continents, Okay, like that, if you want to divide your data into multiple list values, okay, so then you can use a list partition. Hash partition means actually it's a randomly system will define that one, but your data will be distributed only for okay, how many number you are giving for the partition table, only that many number of partitions only will be created instead of distributing your data into multiple blocks. Okay, let's go with one by one. That is range partition. Okay, in real time, range partition will be used for the mainly month. Okay, if you want to store month data, yearly data, daily data. Okay, so then you can go with the range partition. Okay, so for that you need to specify. It is completely syntax oriented. You need to by heart the syntax. There is no option for that. Okay, let me create that one. See, create table name, whatever columns you are having, that you can specify. Next keyword would be you need to specify the partition range. Okay, partition type you need to specify. Partition by is the keyword. Range, which type of partition you are using. Okay, you need to specify the range. Okay, inside that one, for each partition you need to specify the range. Okay, so when and all we need to store separately. Let me order this one. Okay, so partition by range keyword you need to use salary date. Okay, I want to store my data for the sales. Okay, I want to store for January month one place, February month one place, like that I want to store. Okay, so you need to specify that one salary date, when to when the data needs to store. Okay, so you need to specify that keyword called less than. Okay, here you need to specify the hard coded value 01 2000 2000 January. Okay, here we are storing February till February 1st. Whatever data you are storing, everything will be stored in the January partition, sales Jan 2022 partition, like that you need to store. Okay, you need to specify the values. If your input values are there in the given range, then only your data will be saved, otherwise it won't store. Okay, are you understood what is sales range partition? Just by seeing syntax itself we come to know. Okay, before January whatever data you will get, that will be saved in the sales January 2022 partition. Okay, for say February. Okay, so after that whatever values you will receive for the sales date, that will be stored in the February partition. Same way it will be stored. Okay, so like that you can create that one. So let me create the table. Okay, table is created. Guys, these are all completely syntax. Okay, there is nothing is there to explain the concepts. Okay, just you need to use that braces, and you need to specify the partition values. Okay, next, how you can insert the data. Okay, so how you are inserting data normally. Okay, same way you can insert. It will be data will be inserted. Okay, it means insert the data to the particular partitions. Okay, now I am inserting data for January 5th. Means which partition data will be stored, because it will be value is less than February 1st. Okay, this is month, this is date. I am specifying that one only, right? MMDD format. Okay, before February 1st, whatever values are there, okay, that will be saved in the January partition. Okay, let's run that one. Next, same way, okay? Whatever values you are having February 1st, that will be saved in the first partition, okay? Next, yeah, let's see, if you want to select the data for first partition, okay? You need to specify that partition data as well, okay? Partition name you need to specify. Select the star from, okay? If you are using this one, you can able to select the all the data. Okay, three records we have inserted till now. Let me query the specific partition. So for that we need to use the keyword called partition. Okay, so partition you need to specify the in bracket your partition name you need to specify. Okay, let's take January 2022. You will be having your three records. Okay, you are having three records. Let's take February partition. Okay, your there is no records for that means there is no record inserted for the February partitions. Let's insert for the February partition. Okay, one row is inserted. Now you can query that one. It will be data will be there. Okay, so again if you are inserting for April, data will be there because we have defined the before before May 1st, whatever records will be there that will be stored in this one. Okay, if you are inserting beyond that one, okay, I am inserting 21st May. Actually, I have not created any partition for that. Okay, if you want to insert, if you want to insert the data for that, it won't allow to insert the value. Inserted partition key does not map to any partition, so you cannot see the specific partitions. Clear? Any doubt in this one? Okay, if you want to add one more partition, okay, after defining your table, okay, so how you can add normally? Alter command only, right? So you can use same alter command only. Alter table name, and you need to use the keyword called add partition. You need to use keyword, okay, and which partition name you need to specify, and rest of the concepts whatever you are having value less than, okay, so that is mandatory, right? So that complete thing you need to add. Okay, so that will be added one additional partition. Now you can insert the data to the particular partition. You can able to query that one. Okay, so you can query that main partition data. Now your data will be there here. Okay, clear? If you want, you can create the indexes for by default. Already it will be created with the range partition and all. Still, if you want to create any indexes for that, you can able to create with for the any column. Okay, unique index or binary index, whatever index you want, you can create. Try yourself how we can create the indexes for the particular partitions and all. You can try. Okay, so I hope everybody is clear how we can insert create the range partition and how we can insert and how we can query the data. Okay, if you want to drop the partition, normally how we can drop the column or things? Drop column, right? So here same way you can add the drop partition and specific partition you can mention. So your partition will be dropped. Clear? Okay. Next. Yeah. Yes, definitely. Yes, correct. Normally developer won't decide It will be decided by your managers and architectures. Okay. If it is a application development, there is no architecture things and all. It will be manager only. Okay. Manager decision will be taken. Manager will be taken the decision things and all. Okay. Yeah. If you want, you can give suggestion better things what we can do for the tuning the things and all. Your manager and all. If you are working with big data and all, partitions, these things and all will be very common. Frequently you will be using that partitions, other concepts, cluster by, okay, all the concepts regularly you people will use. As a Oracle developer, this and all very rarely will come, especially for the application developers. Okay. These partitions and all, whenever you are working with more than 200 GB, 300 GB, that time you may get this type of concepts. Small applications and all very rarely. Okay. If you are applications like bank applications, mutual fund even mutual and fund applications also very rarely will use the range partitions and all. Only for the order tables, such type of tables only people may use the partitions and all, otherwise won't use. In my 5 years SQL PL SQL career, I didn't use the partitions and all. I have used big data and Snowflake. I have used widely, but in Oracle experience, I never used that one. Okay. Next, list partition. What is list? Collection of elements. Okay. Whatever elements you are specifying, that will be specific list. Okay. So I want to save my data. Okay, south region data I want to store one place. West region data I want to store one place. East data I want to store one place. Okay, like that if you want to decide, or I want to store for specific states of result in one place. Okay, if you are taking our PNR, okay, our population. Okay, to normally for bigger states and all we need to create single partitions. Sir, no, UP, AP, these are all very bigger states, so data needs to create in one partition. If you are considering northeast states, okay, their population is very less. Sir, no. So if you are creating a separate partition for that, our space may get wasted. Okay, if you are using like that separate partition, inside that one, if you are keeping 10 partition separately 10 partitions, with space may wasted. Okay, instead of that, what I will do? Okay, very small wherever people are having very less number of people. Okay, that states all I will include in one place, and whatever we are having the big states. Okay, that I will keep as a separate state. Sir, no, we can do that one, right? So if you want to go with such type of partitions and all means, then you can go with the list partition. Okay, you need to specify which state data you need to store. Okay, which states data you want to store separately. Okay, like that you need to same sales data I want to. Okay, I am having the business, I want to store my data regional wise. Okay, east region, west region, and central, like that I want to store separately. Okay, then you can go with the list partition. You need to specify the state values. Okay, so west partition means I am specifying the California and Hawaii states. Okay, US, these are all the US states, right? Yeah, east side, New York, Virginia, Florida. These three states result I want to store as a separate partition. Central, okay, Texas and Illinois. Illinois. These two states separately I want to store. Rest of the states are very smaller, right? So I want to store entire any record. If you are other than this list, if I am getting any state values means that will be stored in the that separate partition, that is default other partition. Okay, how you can create that one is by using list partition. Okay, just copy the syntax and you can create. Okay, so here also nothing is there to discuss much. Okay, whatever columns you want, that you can specify in your create table class. And partition by column you need to specify, okay, which type of partition you are using. Partition by list and that particular partition name. Okay, partition column sales state. Okay, so next you need to define the your partition values. Okay, you can create that one. So let me create the partitions. Okay, table is created. So insertion, data insertion for the partition table also nothing is there. Simply how you are storing the data normally, same way you can insert your data. It will work. Okay, so list partition here, whatever values you are having, that IDs name everything you can specify. And you need to specify, okay, based upon this value which partition it is referring to. In that partition only data will be stored. Okay, here you are referring the Hawaii state, so that will be stored in the which partition? West partition, sales west partition. Okay, so go and check your data in the sales partition, data will be there. Okay, so let's start from sales list. First we need to specify the table name only. Okay, after that we need to specify the partition. Okay? Partition, here we need to specify the partition name. Okay, so your data will be stored. Specify partition does not exist. Sales list, sorry. Okay, sorry, one second. We need to use the partition name is the sales list. Okay, your data will be there in the west partition. Okay, so if you are storing in another other value means you cannot query that one. It won't store any of the other partition. Okay, only a specified list only it will be saved. Okay, so no data found. You can create one more record that is specific to Florida state. Okay, row is inserted. Florida which state? Sales east partition, right? So now go and query that particular partition. Your data will be there in the same partition only. Okay, so now here you using Colorado. Okay, is there Colorado state in your list? No, right? So if you other than this specified list, your data will be stored in the whatever you have created as a other than that, it will be stored. Okay, so other value as default partition. Okay, by default it will be storing this partition. And if you are specifying any list, it will go to specific list, otherwise it will go to other. Okay, whatever one you can query that one. See, your Colorado state sales records will be stored in the specific partition. Clear? No, for day range you cannot create like that. You need to specify the range values. That is the restriction for that. You are having the keyword value less than. You cannot add you cannot add syntax as a greater than. Okay, the complete syntax is value less than. Okay, if you are giving value is less than January 1st, okay, here 2000 is there, right? If you want to give 1970, still it will be stored in the Sales February partition only. Yeah, value less than. Okay, that range you are defining that one. Okay, based upon that specific range only data will be stored. You cannot store default range in the range partition. Okay, but we can add in the list partition other than any value if you are giving for a particular column, then it will be stored in the this one. Clear? So how we can rename the? I want to rename partition name. How we can do? Normally, how you can rename the table? Rename the column. Alter table, table name, rename column, word column name to new column name. Okay. Same way you can do the partition name as well. You need to specify the keyword. Rename partition word column to new column. Okay. Your partition name will be changed. Okay. So instead of west, you can use the WST. It will be heavy. Okay. Next, one more partition type, that is hash partition. Am I going very fast? Everybody is getting right. Nothing to there to explain much here. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Next partition is hash partition. Okay. Here actually we are not specifying any range or list values. I want to store data randomly. But if you are not creating the partitions, what will happen? Your data will be distributed among your data blocks. Okay, based upon your table size, data will be distributed into the multiple blocks and multiple files. So you cannot get the performance wise very good. Yes or no? So even though if you are created indexes, everything, still your performance will be very low. Okay, that are all basic things. Okay. So but if you are creating the partition means your data retrieval will be very fast since your entire data blocks will be created at one place, so it will be very easy to pick the values from your database. That's why we will go with the partition. Okay, here there is no range and there is no list. If you want to create the list partition prior to insert the data, you should be having that list of values. What are all the states I am having, what are all the district I am having, what are all the countries I am having. Okay, that list you should be having, otherwise you cannot create that one. Yes or no? Even if you want to create go with the range partition, you should be having the some specific range on which sales date I will get. Okay. So all the times I need to refer the range value on which date I am selecting, on which value I am using. So all the times you should remember and you need to insert the data. Okay, I don't know the range, I don't know the list of values. Then still I want to improve my table performance, query performance. How you can increase? Okay, so for that Oracle given the hash partition. What it will do now? Just if you are specifying partition by column, partition by which type of partition that you need to specify, and on which column. Okay, you know the column name, but you don't know the value. Sales IDs, salesman IDs, you don't know, but you know the type of partition. Okay, and so if you are giving number of partitions, partition numbers means data will be stored in the only four partition. Okay, let's 1 billion records you are inserting also, it will be separated. So okay, it will be segregated in the four partitions only. Okay, it won't go more than four partitions. Like that, it will choose the four partition data. It will be stored in the four partitions only. Okay, so based upon the hash ID, data will be saved. Let me show you that one. Just for this one, what you need to take care? You need to take care of your table definition and partition type, okay, hash partition, and number of partitions. How many number of partitions you need to create, that you need to specify. That's it. No need to specify the range and your list of values, because we don't know everything. Still, I want to improve the performances and all. Okay, that's where we will be created the hash creator, hash partitions in that cases. Okay, so table is created means based upon the hash id your partitions will be created. Okay, we don't know in which partition our data will be stored, but all the times system will try to distribute your data equally for each partition. Okay, are you getting my point or not? Hello. Okay, so we need to specify the number of partitions. That's it. Based upon the hash value, your data will be stored in the different partitions. Insertion will be same. There is no difference for that. How you are inserting data to normal table, in same way you can insert. Okay, your data will be stored, but we are not sure which partition your data will be stored. That and all doesn't matter. Still, you can able to see. Okay, let's take previous table records only. Just I have inserted the three records. How you can specify that one? How you can query that one? Because you don't know the partition names also, right? So if you want to know the partitions things and all means, normally if you want to query the complete table means, you need to specify that one. Okay, all the data you can store. If you want to check your what is the partitions you have created inside your database, you then you have to go with the libraries. Okay, there is a library, dictionaries are there, right? For all the table, for every database object you will be having the libraries. You can check in the particular library. Okay, so for your particular table, what are all the libraries you are having? Okay, you can create, you can check. Okay, so see here we have specified four for the partition number. So four partitions are created, that is this P4. Okay, of course, if because your system is creating, right, partitions and all, so it will be created with some sys name only. Okay, these are all the partition names. File versions you cannot create the partition tables and all. Okay, see here partition position 1 2 3 4, and here everything will be there. Okay, initial text, some default columns will be there. Can ignore, even I am not sure. If you want to select the particular partition means, you need to specify the partition name. Select star from your table name, partition. Keyword you need to use partition, you need to specify the your partition name. Data will be stored. Okay. So actually in this partition data is not stored. Let's check another partition. In real time people won't use like this. Okay, specific partitions for the hash partition and all, normally they will use the where classes only for the ids and all. Okay, in this partition two records got inserted. Still we need to see the another two records. Let's see. Okay, in this one record, definitely in this partition also one more record is stored. We have inserted three records only, right? Yeah, so in this one two records and this one record got stored. Clear? Any doubts in the partitions? It's very small topic, but behind topic, whatever is there, that theory you should understand. What is the advantage of that one? Guys, any doubts? Okay. Shall I move to another topic? Okay. Next, we'll go to another topic, that is cluster. Okay, or nested table we can take. Okay, what is nested table? Can anybody tell me? What is the meaning of nested in technical word? Okay, we can say nested if. You know, right? That nested if. Okay, inside if condition, one more if condition. Okay, yeah, same way nested table means inside your table. Okay, another table will be stored as a one row. Normally, table what will contains rows and columns. Okay, what is nested table means your one more table will be stored as a one column inside that one. Okay, then we can say that is nested table. There will be such type of requirements very rarely, but if you want to store, normally what we will do. So let me create. I will show you one data. 1 second. You are having BPT data, okay, and you are having employee data. So if you want to store your department details along with the employee data, means what we will do separately. We will query that one, right, by joining the department table and EMP table. Okay, by joining that table, I can store in one. I can query that one. Okay, actually, what happened? What we did as of now, we are separated the department data separately and EMP data separately. Just for reference, we are using the department number. Sir, no. Just we have given for department details one number. That number we are referring in the EMP table. So what we are considering here, so in 10th department few people are added, but 20th department few people are added. Instead of that, okay, separately I'm storing the department details and EMP details. I want to store in one place. Okay, let's assume if I'm considering the department details, here only I want to store everything. Okay, 10th department accounting new year, and who and all working in the 10th department I want to store in same place. Okay, as a one record. Normally you cannot create, right? EMP table also having different number of columns and number of rows will be there. If you are storing in one place means it will be duplicated. I don't want to duplicate that one. Okay, so I want to store in one place. So how you can store the things and all means you can go with the nested table. Okay, here it is data will be stored normal table. How it will behave, same way it will also behave. Okay, data will be stored permanently and it will be stored as a columns only. But if you want to create a table types in that one means you need to follow few steps. Okay, first you need to create one object, next after that you need to create one table type, and after that you need to create the your original table. Okay, let's take one example, that is of student details. Okay, and their address details. Okay, first what you need to do, you should be creating the address. Okay, address, what are all the possible columns? What are all the possible columns? House number, street, city. Okay, whatever columns you are having, right, that now comes under address, right? So first you need to create the one address type. Okay, that, let's assume your one student is having some two addresses or three addresses. One is home 1, home 2, home 3. Okay, like that they are having different addresses. You want to store, one organization want to store his addresses in one table as a one row. For each student I want to store only one row. Okay, how you can store the things and all means, just first you need to create the one address type. Okay, that is of record type. Record, right? So if you are defining the table means one record. This is the one record. Okay, this is the one record. Okay, so like that you need to define the one record type. That number of rows will become, if you are storing multiple addresses for the each customer means, you will be created as a separate table. Okay, so next you need to create the one table type address, and you have, after that you need to create the your actual table by referring the your address table. Okay, let understood concept, what is the things and all. Okay, this is theoretical. You need to follow few steps, that's it, for creating the nested table. What is nested table, that you should understand. What are all the things will be there inside that one. So table inside that table. So for that, again, if you are using the table means, you will be having the separate rows. Okay, multiple rows are having, so that we can say that is a table type. So if you want to create the nested table means, you have to create one record type, next you have to make that one as a table type, next you have to create the original table, then only you can able to create the nested table. Okay, just follow the syntax. Next, let's create one example. Okay, I want to store customer details with his all the addresses. Okay, so first what I need to do, I need to create the record type. Okay, that we can say object. Okay, that this will be stored in your data permanently. Okay, so first this you can create in your this one as well, trial versions as well, it will be allowed. Okay, so first you need to create the record type. Okay, create type name as object. Okay, is the keyword. Guys, whatever I'm telling, that you need to follow the syntax. There is no much explanation in that time. Okay, syntactically I won't explain much things. You need to follow the things as it is. Okay, create type name as object. Okay, and you need to specify the internal columns whatever you are having, that you need to specify. Okay, so it is already create existed. Okay, let me drop, or we can create underscore November. Okay, so I am creating the one address type. Okay, which is containing house number, street, city, state. Okay, their pin code number, everything. Okay, next what you need to do, you need to convert that record type into table type. Okay, so for that you need to create that one. Okay, so how you can convert that record type into table type. Okay, just create type name. Okay, which is of table. Okay, is table of keyword, and what are all the columns inside we are having, so that is of record type, that you need to refer here. Okay, so whatever record type you have created, this many number of columns will be there in your table, that you need to specify here. Okay, underscore November, you need to specify that. Create type name, and what is the type of object. Okay, so if it is a record type means, you need to specify as a object, as object you need to specify. If it is a table, you need to specify as a, as is table of, you need to specify the your record type. If it is a record type, you need to specify the number of columns. Okay, whatever columns you are using, along with your data, along with the data types, you need to specify that. Okay, so now you can create the table type. Okay, your table type created. Now, by referring this table type, you need to create the original table, actual table. Okay, that is of customer table. Okay, just you can follow that syntax. Okay, normal, how you can create the table, create table name. Okay, customer id is unique queue for that, so that I'm taking as a separate column. Okay, customer id. And next you need to refer, you need to get the, you need to store the address, right? So for that you need to specify that address column, and you need to specify your data type. Earlier what you are using earlier, either you will be using the number or varchar or any date columns, like that you are using. Yes or no? But now if you want to store nested, if you want to store another table type inside your table type, inside your table means you need to refer the that table type whatever you have created, that you can refer as a one data type. Okay, this you can use as a one data type now. Okay, which is containing of table record address number. Okay, so that record address number is what type? It is a record type that is containing different columns. Means internally it will refers the this many number of columns, and it will accept the multiple rows as well as a table. Clear? Okay, so here you need to specify the, you can give one name, nested table name, whatever you are, that keyword you need to use. Okay, nested table which is of address type. Okay, so you need to specify the column name here. Okay, so which is the nested table inside your table definition, that you need to specify nested table keyword, and you need to specify the particular column. And you can store as, this is a keyword, you can specify any comment here. Okay, this is of customer address. Okay, so let me create as a November. So you can able to create the table with this one. Okay, table is already existed. Let me create one more record. Customer addresses. Okay, you need to define another one as well. Okay, address one you can refer, and you can use this one as well. Custom create table. The name is already used by existing object. Now only we have created, right? Let me use some address underscore November. Internally, it will store separately. Okay, but while querying, it will be stored separately. Okay, nested table store as a customer addresses. I have used it. Guys, 1 second. Ooh, create table name, stored nested table address, store as. Customer address underscore. It is referring. Yeah, sorry, this comment already I have used, that's why it is not allowing. So by changing this comment, I can able to create the customer. Okay, so let me create this one. Understood how we can create the table? First, what are all the steps we need to follow to create the nested table? First, you need to create the object type. Okay, that is of record type. What are all the columns inside in nested table you are having, that we have to define here. Okay, column name and along with data types, all the things you need to refer here. And inside that you need to change that record type as a table type. Okay, so each table of keyword you need to use for that. So on top of that, you can create the table type. That table type you will be referring in the column table type. Okay, so that you can refer here. Next, you can create the table. Okay, syntactically nothing is there. Syntactically you have to follow, but concept you should understand. What all the things we need to follow how we can create the things and all. Clear? Next, how we can do the DML operations for that particular nested table. There is no use with creation table, right? If you are storing some data in the nested table, then that will be useful. Otherwise, it will be wasted. Yes or no? So how you can insert the data things means you need to refer all the objects. Okay, let me take here. This is your table name, right? Customer name or customer table. Okay, that you can refer here. Next, you need to refer the your table type, whatever you have defined as a table type, that you need to refer inside that one. Okay, and record type also you need to refer what are all the records you are storing. Okay, so these are all the records I am storing, and this is also one of the record. Okay, like that you need to give the input for the table. Okay, this is one table, this is one table, sorry, this is one record, and this is one record. Like that you can add a number of records for the one. Actually, how many number of rows you are inserting? Only one row. Inside that one you are storing the multiple records. Sir, no, that is the intention, this one, right? So that you need to specify what are all the columns, what are all the rows you are storing. Like that you can add a number of addresses. It will work. Okay, just you can add n other records. Okay, it data will be stored. Okay, so Karnataka, Chennai, whatever you want, you can add n number of this one. Okay, so what are all the columns we are having? Customer number two table, customer ID, and address table, right? So that you can refer. Okay, column name you are not mentioning, but you are referring the your types. Okay, your table type you need to refer inside this one. Okay, and inside that one again you are referring the your record type. You need to follow the syntax. That's it. Clear? One row is inserted. Next, same way you can do the multiple records. Okay, so this is of record type. Need to specify that one, and which is of table type. That also you need to refer here. Okay, now we can do that one. Okay, I am storing the two customer details, not enough values. What happened? So one, two, three. Okay, correct only, right? Then what happened? Not enough values. Correct only. One record, customer ID, house number, street, next AP. Okay, one more column is missing, I guess, right? No, I am giving all the values, right? Still, why it is showing? Column 14. Okay, sorry, I am referring the another table, so that's it. Okay, row is inserted. Next, this is the insertion. How you can do the updation? Okay, before that you can try to query the data, then you can try. Okay, if you want to update this detail, how you can do? Okay, wherever you are having the address ID. Okay, that is for customer ID 2. I want to update city name, whoever having the house number 8. Okay, means this record I want to inside the nested table, I want to update. How you can do that one means, Actually, first you need to hard code that one. Okay, there is no option to directly querying the things and all. You should be hard code the values. Okay, you need to specify the first, you need to select the your original your customer id. Okay, so inside that one you need to specify what is the column name here, address. Okay, address number you can copy, you can select that for particular address first. Update, you need to use the keyword table type. Okay, so and your table name, original table name is this one. Okay, so that you need to verify. And here customer id, for which customer you are doing the updation. Okay, so I want to do the for customer id. Okay, so that you can refer here for customer id 2, so which will give the second customer your address details. Okay, this is even if you are querying the data also, it will be stored in the form of array. Okay, you will be having inside that multiple records. If you are double click, you can able to see the data. Okay, your data will be stored in the separate records. Okay, clear? Because it's a table, right? So even directly you cannot able to see that your data. If you want to see that one, again you need to select separately. Okay, so first you need to query which record you want to update, that you can filter and you can select into the table type. Next, whatever you want, that you can give. Okay, so I want to give for the particular id, that is house number 8. Okay, just you can give that one. Okay, I want to update the street as a mg road, so you can give simply that one. So in that way you can do the updation. Okay, one row updated. So if you want to query that one, you can query. So you can able to see now your data will be changed. MG road for 80. Okay, MG road. Earlier it was this one, right? MXR. Sorry, KR Puram. Now it got changed to the MG road. Clear? Yeah, here nothing is there. Completely syntax oriented. Your things and all concept will be just how we can do normal table same way, but inside that you need to follow. You need to refer the table type and record type as well. Otherwise, you cannot do that one. Clear? Next, querying the table. Okay, if you want to query the full data, normally how you can do that one, select star from table, same way you can do that one. It will be giving the all the records, but you cannot able to see the their address details separate. Okay, directly. Okay, if you want to see that one, you need to select that particular things and you need to refer that one. Okay, so I want to store for customer id 1 and what is their first address. Okay, that is of one is their right house number. I want to see that particular first address means you need to filter that one. Okay, okay, so table of you need to specify that one. Select customer id and you need to specify the. Okay, so you need to join the tables, two columns, which is of which it is also table type, right? Guys, are you understood or not? This we can say. Okay, in this one, whatever value you are having, that you are referring in the separate table. Okay, as a separate column, a separate table. This you can say lateral join. Okay, this is also one of the join type, lateral join, but rarely people will use in the Oracle side. In Oracle means no one will use. Okay, if you are going with the nested table, then only people will use. Okay, simply you can refer the table of. You can specify that what is the column type inside that one, address, right? Address number is the column. Okay, that you can refer directly here. Okay, and here you can specify that whatever columns you are using, that you can use here. Means you will be selecting only particular customer id address. Okay, see now we can able to see the complete data as the table. Yes or no? Earlier you cannot able to see, right? Earlier you can able to see as a one object. Okay, you can able to see like this. But if you want to see your data as a table means you need to use this one. Okay, you need to refer that table type into separate object. Okay, without referring. Okay, if you want to store the things and all means you cannot store, you need to refer that one, then only you can able to do, you can able to get the things and all. Okay, if you want to query that particular address means directly you cannot do that one. Okay, of course you can able to select the things, but you cannot select separately. Okay, so you dot start from this one, if you are using like that means you will be getting the error. Okay, single row subquery, multiple rows. Why? Anybody tell me? Hmm. Why it is returning single row subquery returns more than one row? Because you are having the two rows here. Okay. Inside two rows, in one row you are having the three records, in one row you are having the two rows. That's why system is not able to identify what are all the records inside that one. All are record types. If you are having the ID, then only system can able to display that one. Okay, directly you cannot able to query that one. You need to refer as a separate table and you need to do the lateral join. Okay, you need to join and you can see the data things. Clear? If you want to select particular customer ID details, you can hard code that one, you can able to get that. Okay, if you want to select address like this means you need to hard code that one. Instead of multiple rows, simply you can refer the single customer ID details. Okay, where customer ID equal to 1, that you can use as a one table, because it is referring, it is having three rows. Okay, three rows are not. So this system will consider as a one table. Okay, that we can use as a columns separately, so that will display as a separate table. Clear? Anybody have any doubts in this one? Selection, doing updation, deletion, even delete also same way. Okay, you need to take particular ID, you need to select a table, how you are doing the update, same way you can do. Okay, you can select that one, here you can select that one. Let me try that one. Delete. Okay, from table of, right? We need to specify the keyword, right? Table of. So table of, delete table of customer 2. Okay, or I will give one ID. Address number, customer ID. Here, which address I want to remove? I want to remove the H number equal to 2. Okay, I want to remove that one. So how you can do? Simply you can specify that house number equal to where, house number equal to 2. Okay, I want to remove that one. So let me execute. One row is deleted. Now go and query that one for particular ID one. Now you will be having two rows only. Okay, address 2 is removed. Clear? Next, I want to drop the table. Okay, already I have created the record type and table type. You cannot remove the your database objects. Okay, if you want to see, you will be storing your object types in your database. Okay, so let's see, go to objects, you will be having that one option where we are having the objects types. See, record address number, right? So you will be having that address type. You are right. REC underscore address number. Okay, your record is there. If you same way you can check your table type also will be there. Now these objects are using as a tables. Sir, no, you are referring in your tables. So it will be act as a one data type. Okay. So where you are having table address number. Okay. See your objects is storing as a separate table types. Okay. Simply you cannot drop your record types without removing the dependencies. Okay. Drop object, right? That is object type, right? Simply you cannot object, right? Drop type, sorry. You cannot drop the table directly without removing the, see, there is a dependence, table dependents are there. You cannot drop the table. Even you cannot drop the your table type as well. Okay, this is table type, right? So this one also you cannot drop the things. Drop type. Okay? So there will be dependents. You should be drop first dependence. How you are deleting the records? If you are having the child records, means you cannot able to remove the master records, right? Means you will be having some dependent record. Same way here also dependent objects are there. So that's why you cannot able to drop the your types. So for that, what you have to do? You should be drop the table first. Okay, once you drop the table, you need to drop the your type, table type you need to remove, otherwise your record type will not remove, because based upon this record type only your table type is defined. So first you need to drop the table type, next you have to drop the your record type, then only you can able to drop the objects. Clear? Anybody have any doubts? Hmm? Here nothing is there much to explain. All things are related to performance tuning only. So here with the nested table, you are see what is the advantage? Can anybody guess with the nested table? Of course, developer perspective, it will be there will be some pain is there. Okay, but as a organization wide, is there any advantage? Yeah, it is permanent table only, right? If you are inserting the data, if you are doing things and all this, it will be permanent object only. What is the advantage? Why they are giving that option to store the data as a separate, okay, nested table things and all? If there is no advantage, means there is no use with learning the concepts. Sir, no. Okay, so if you are storing your data, have entire data as a one place, okay, for querying perspective, it will be very easy. Okay, data querying perspective, it will be very easy. It will be working very fast manner. Instead of join multiple tables, so if you are doing join, so if you want to get customer details and customer address details, what you have to do, you need to join the table, right? Customer plus join address table, you need to both the tables you need to join, and again you need to refer the customer id for joining the columns. So if let's assume customer details having 1,000 records and address tables is having 10,000 records, means 10,000 into 1,000 times it will loop internally. Yes or no? So if you are using the nested table, means just you will simply will refer the only 1000 columns. You will get all the details. Of course, developer perspective, for querying the things and all, you need to write much things. But as a company perspective, data storage will be one place. Your query performance will be more. Of course, in real time, nobody will use that one. But if they suggest to create these things, you should be aware of that one. Nested table and all. Okay. So, and one more observation, you should are aware of that one. If you are opening, if you are seeing this department data, you are storing your department number here, and here also you are storing the department number. So for this one, definitely memory will be wasted or not. So if you are storing your data here directly, okay, in the department table itself, 10th department details you are storing at one place, definitely some memory gain will be there or not. So ordered by right. So here, here you are storing the three values, three fields means three number fields means there will be some one byte, one byte, one byte. Okay, if you are considering byte wise, okay, three bytes will be saved or not if you are storing in the nested table. Same way here, some memory save will be there because no need to store once again this department number. Just inside that one, you will be stored as a one record. That's it. Okay, so there will be some features, but real time nobody will use. If they want to ask interviewer what is the difference between normal table and digital table, is you should be aware of these concepts, everything clear. Next we are left with the two topics. One is cluster and DCL, right? I guess everything is completed. Hierarchical queries, coordinates, and pseudo columns with class joins, everything. Alright? Okay. Shall I continue or I need to stop? It won't take much time. Yeah, okay. Okay, guys, then we can stop here. We'll see tomorrow.